The 18th day of March 2025, we are bringing to you a fresh edition of Inside Our School. In today's edition, we are going to dive into something which is very peculiar, which draws us closer to the second term break. We are talking about the Easter break already. And so in today's edition of program, we shall be looking at something which is very pertinent within this period. We are talking about examinations. And so for today's edition, we shall be looking at examinations at CUIB Entrepreneurial High School. Record CUIB Entrepreneurial High School is an academic institution of the Diocese of Boya, and of course attached the secondary school section of the university, the CUIB University. So today's edition, we shall focus into that campus exactly. The panel today is full of high-profile men from that academic institution. Let me start by my far right. We have the Vice Principal of the institution, Mr. Joe Fidelis. It is a pleasure joining you, sir.
Thank you.
As far as the CUIB system is concerned, you have a vast knowledge when it comes to academic issues.
Yes.
We have a high profile of you from different schools, having Moka Bishop programs from different schools.
Yes.
And so in this today edition, we shall be getting to know from you the experience as far as CUIB and other academic institutions are concerned.
Good.
It is going to be a pleasure. By my left, we have the academic dean of that institution, Mr. Ango Emmanuel. It is a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
We shall be talking today academics in your school.
We'll be very grateful to take part in this discussion. And I'm sure it's going to shed light on what we are putting in place in that academic citadel to see how we grow young Cameroonians.
Your business is directly with academics, and so let's take on this a short break. When we come back, we shall dive into the business of the day. Don't change this channel. Hello there, and thanks for tuning back to DML TV. This evening we are bringing to you fresh edition of Inside Our Schools. Let's talk academics. Let's talk what is happening in our schools. The first thing, this is examination period. We are just from the doors are still yet to settle as far as the CUIB mock is concerned in different CUIB institutions in the Diocese of Boya. And this time around, we are bringing to you a package again about examinations from 1 to Form 4 and lower seed students. The Easter break is fast approaching, and so it is good for us to look at exams on different schools, and of course with a keen focus at the CUIB University Institute of Boya High School, Secondary School. So that is just the content we have for you today. Now let's start with you, the Vice Principal of CUIB. You are in charge of CUIB. You are the second boss as far as the academic situation of CUIB is concerned. Talk to us about this academic institution.
CUIB Entrepreneurial High School. Though a baby institution when it comes to the Diocese of Boya, I think it's like the name, entrepreneur. It's a wonderful institution, an institution to be. There we train young minds to be job creators tomorrow and not job seekers. Presently, they started their examination today, the second term examination today, and will be ending on by Friday. And I think so far everything is going on smoothly.
Thank you very much. As far as these exams is concerned, if our broadcaster have the images while we discuss, please let's just have some highlights of this examination session which is already ongoing. As we discuss, we shall be bringing to you the highlights of these images. Let's get to meet the academic dean. Now let's find out from you, as far as academic in the institution is concerned, tell us about the academic structure. What is that special package that these students, that the school has?
Thank you very much. In CUIB Entrepreneurial High School, we do everything possible so that we come out in whatever activity, particularly academics, in flying colors. So we do a lot of planning. We take time and plan. What I mean by planning is planning with the teachers, having series of meetings to prepare, planning and educating the students on the sensitivity of examinations, communicating with parents and alerting them on their role to play during this period of exams. So the planning has been done and done well. And like my vice mayor just indicated, the examinations for from 1 to 4 and lower seat started this morning, hitch-free, and we are very, very certain that will run successfully to the end on Friday.
Let's talk about the population sitting in for this examination.
This is what we do. We make sure that the children write the exam in perfect examination conditions. Cheating of whatever sort is discouraged even before they go to their respective halls. The arrangement is such that students of the same class don't sit together. We pair from 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and sometimes we swap 4 different classes in one hall, given that we don't have enough space. And we preach often to them and make sure that no student gets to the hall with pre-prepared material. All the children are called upon to prepare themselves with the respective writing material so that by the time they enter the exam, they communicate just with their papers.
How satisfied are you when you look at the performance of the students? Let's talk about the performance. How satisfied are you, the examination conduct?
I think everything has been done, and I'm very satisfied with what is unfolding beginning this morning. I'm very satisfied, and I'm very certain that you cannot say that we can actually go through 100% hitch-free, but whatever attempt at cheating will be nipped at the bud. We do everything possible that nothing that is close to malpractice is registered in the course of the exam. I'm very certain that that is what is going to unfold throughout the course of the exam.
You talk about the role of the parents. We shall be coming back to get that from you. But let's meet the vice principal to talk about the dust is still yet to settle as far as the CUIB mock is concerned. Yeah. Let's refresh back and let's look at the CUIB mock.
Yes.
Let's look at the conduct of the students during that period, Form 5 and upper seat.
Good. I think it was nothing short of the GCE picture. The students were given that GCE atmosphere, and invigilators took their time, and I'm sure that the students, knowing that, like the academic dean said, in CUIB, cheating, coming into an examination room with pre-prepared material is punishable. We don't tolerate that because we are preparing them for the public examination, which is the GCE. And so supervision, that is invigilation, as well as writing, is taken seriously by both the students and the invigilators. So the mock, which of course ended today, went on hitch-free, and we're expecting that the students are going to do well.
We're talking about already setting a pace as far as the general examinations for upper seats and Form 5 students are concerned. And so we are looking at CUIB. Is the prospect of the students writing on campus?
They will not write on campus. In actual fact, when we applied to have an accommodation center, we weren't given. That was last year, and it's not like only CUIB wasn't given that examination center. It's like the GCE board had stopped somewhere. But however, we have a center, and presently we are very sure that the computer science students will carry on their practicals in school. We applied, the computer lab was inspected and approved. Unfortunately, the science lab wasn't, I think, let me just say we applied a little bit late. And so we are hoping that by next year, we may not only have the science lab approved, but we may have an accommodation center.
Okay, let's come back to you, academic team. You talked about the sensitizing parents about their roles during examinations. Let's get more on that.
Yeah, we communicate the timetable to the parents so that the parents should know which subject the children are writing at whatever time and whatever day. We inform them to get the children ready, equip them with writing material, and send them early to school. We use the GCE approach to exams, even though they are in Form 1. We cultivate the attitude that the children should come early and get settled in the examination hall 15 minutes before the start of the paper. So this information has gone to the parents, the students know it, and even the teachers who are the supervisors of the exam, the invigilators, know it. When you do things like that and get the brain settled before the commencement of examination, you are prepared, not only the minds of the students, you have prepared the minds of the parent. They know that the children have come early to school and they will not write in panic.
So, talk to us generally about, let's look at what is the role that these parents are supposed to play within this period, examination period?
Yeah, the parents are supposed to, like I told you, are supposed to buy their writing. By writing material, I mean pen, pencils, ruler, calculator, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
They are supposed to make sure that the children come to school early enough. They are supposed to give enough time for the student when they come back to study.
And supervise them.
And supervise them.
Yes.
Yes. That is the role they are supposed to play.
Okay.
Yes.
As far as this is concerned, any misconduct of students, when we look at this role, parents have failed to meet up this late comment registered so far?
No. Today was a successful day. Today was a successful day. This morning, we coached them. And we borrowed from the GCE, but motto, measuring learning with honesty.
Okay.
Measuring learning with honesty. As a Catholic institution, we preach to them the necessity for them to write their exam without copying from somewhere. After that preaching, Father blessed them. And that was enough encouragement that we gave them. They went to the hall happy enough and ready to give in their best.
The best is what we are expecting at the end of these exams. Let's come to you, the Vice Principal. Let me just get your own feelings as far as these exams are concerned in your school.
Yeah, I think my feelings are positive because, like the Dean just mentioned, the students, when you see them, even in their various halls, you know that they have prepared for the exams. And we keep telling them, we're expecting good results, their parents are expecting good results, and confidently enough, I must tell you that when we started this morning, everything was smooth. Up to when I left school this afternoon, I think the last paper was already over by 4:30, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
There are cases of students not completing fees as before exams. What is any challenge when it comes to this?
Oh yeah, it's a serious challenge. That happens everywhere, but I think with this time we tried as much as possible to minimize those, and we journeyed with some of the parents who could not really meet up with the complete fee. But I can assure you that fee collection in CUIB is close to 90%.
Yeah, 90%. Now let's talk about the students who are writing yet they are being sent back for fees. If those such cases do exist?
No, so far no. Why? Because as teachers and as educators, we are parents. At times you see a case that requires you to use the heart. So far, we did not leave any student out of the examination because of fees. Yes.
And we are looking forward to complete collection.
Yeah, we are going to. Yeah, we're looking forward to completing before they even go on, or before the year comes to an end.
Yeah.
I recall the bishop's meeting with the accountant and principals last year. Yeah, that is in August, before the start of the academic year. He was very keen when it comes to fees collection, and we're talking about 75% before school, first term, and then of course 25% at the second term. And so we are already looking at talking about using the heart. Cases of dishonest parents who promise will pay, and then prior to the date they don't pay.
There is one thing I must say about our parents, the parents of the CUIB. I think, let me say, they are a bit honest. They know the type of education that their children are acquiring in CUIB, and so far none of them, for my 4 years running there, none of them have actually disappointed the institution.
Okay.
When it comes to payment of fees and other small financial commitments for the school.
I will be taking your question to another angle. There is, you just talked about a type of education, and of course it falls within your office. A type of education.
Yeah, we offer general education with some particular attention paid to talent development. It's rare to find it around here.
And that is where the school derive its name from.
That's it. You're right.
So now when we're talking about, as far as this situation is concerned, we keep on looking at talent development. Let's talk about talent development within your school.
Oh, it is something that was created alongside the creation of the college.
Okay.
And it has been improving from one year to the other. It is difficult for us to put it on the timetable, teaching timetable. And that is why the school has devoted Saturday for that. And the way it is carried out, there are particular persons that have been employed. A good number of talented coaches with different talents have been recruited to take care of this exercise. They train them on beat making. They train them in
motor mechanics,
sewing, barbing, shoe mending, and even in sport.
Which is already forming you for a better tomorrow.
Yes. Some of them will end up getting jobs from those areas than from the academic certificate they are going to acquire at the end of their stay in the college.
And the cooperation of parents when it comes to these special skills?
Yeah. They are collaborating, but it is something that is gradual. Some of them still don't want to think that we get their children involved in issues concerning school on Saturdays.
Okay.
But we are gradually encouraging them, and they are seeing with us the necessity of that program in that school.
4 years in CUIB. Let's talk about 4 years in CUIB. Let's talk about the place of these talents. Let's look at the place of talent in CUIB. Within your 4 years stay, how has this talent been able to upgrade the skills of the students? Do you see a different presentation of a student from Form 1, somebody was admitted in Form 1, and then we are seeing something after Form 4?
Oh yes. Here, I will not say much. I wish you could have the opportunity to come there, to come to CUIB when the students are displaying their various talents. Yes, you enjoy it. Painting, be it motor mechanics, be it beat making, be it
drawing.
Yeah, there are many. There are many, and so you see, some parents have even come to confess that truly their children, what their children are learning in CUIB, it was worth the salt sending them there.
Okay.
Yes, because they have seen it. If you came to my office, I would have presented some bits that I bought from the students. Yes, you'll be marveled.
Cookery.
Yes, cookery. Oh, they can do all sort of cakes. They can do all sort of fruit juice and so on. So plating and so on. So last week I was there when I saw a lady doing barbing and was doing it so well with the students. I went round. So I think sending your child to CUIB, you will not regret it.
Does these exams cut across such talent development programs?
Good. There is a project for that. The main coach has so far it is not in their report card.
Okay.
But they have designed something that will earn them a certificate in the various fields. So I think beginning this academic year, by the end of this year, they will have certificates.
It started last year.
Yeah, it started last year, but I think the certificates will be there this by the end of this academic year.
Okay.
In the various domains of training.
We're talking about the field of Coach Emin Bella here.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about this program is backed by what we call Open Day, which often comes every academic year.
Yeah. That's why I was saying that if you had the opportunity of visiting the institution, and we really want to reinforce that. We usually have not actually taken an open day per se, but more often than not, after the exams like this, we organize a day and even invite the parents to come and watch their children, perform in the various talent areas that is being practiced down there. And I must use this opportunity to tell you that Coach Emil, that we're talking here about, is doing a wonderful job. His team as a whole doing a wonderful job. If you come there, you will enjoy the way they are managing the students.
If you're just tuning into DMR TV this moment, this is Inside Our School. Inside Our School, we're taking focus today, March 18, 2025, on CUIB. CUIB is a secondary school, Catholic school for that matter, and of course, just know that CUIB is secondary school is being derived from the Catholic University Institute of Boya, and of course, just within that premises, there is also a CUIB primary school, CUIB secondary school. Our key focus today has to do with the secondary school. If you're just tuning in, stay with us as we ride on. After this brilliant, we shall be back again. Second term examinations at CUIB Entrepreneurial High School, MOLYKO, is the topic for today. CUIB Entrepreneurial High School is a secondary school in Boya, owned by the Diocese of Boya, that prides herself among other academic institutions in excellence. Be with us as we dissect the topic of today. Now, academic dean, back to exams. Let's look, how many subjects are these students writing per day? How is the scheduling done?
I told you earlier that there's a timetable.
Okay.
Form 1, Form 2, they write 4 subjects a day. 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. And we have programmed in such a way that the examination duration for Form 1 and 2 should not be more than an hour. Form 3 and 4 will have their schedule slightly above 1 hour, 30 minutes per paper, because we take into consideration the GC program for those classes. And the lower seat is a complete exam. There are certain papers that we write for 3 hours.
That is the schedule as far as exams in that particular school is concerned. Yeah. Let's talk about now, within the examinations period, intervals for these students to rest, or maybe periods for them to read before other subjects?
Yeah, the timetable is drawn in such a way that there's enough time for rest, so that the brain should prepare for the next paper. We begin at 8 in the morning for Form 1s. And at 9, the first paper is over. The second paper begins at 9:30.
Okay.
I'm giving them 30 minutes. But their usual break from 11:15 to 1 o'clock is maintained, so that they have enough time. The exam is not meant to punish students. It's not a prison. The children should write under very relaxed condition. Relax for the brain, and not relax to cheat. Because this is how we operate. Despite the fact that we try as much as possible to journey with our students, we encourage continuous improvement. By that I mean that a child who had an average of 5 in the first term and moves to 6 in the second term and moves to 7 in the third term, that is a progression. That child should be encouraged. We are not saying that students are not asked to repeat there.
Yes.
We don't joke with our promotion criteria, particularly for Form 4 and lower seat.
And the reason you don't admit Form 5 and upper seat?
Yeah, we don't admit in Form 5 and upper seat, but there are certain conditions. There are certain cases that when VP indicated that we are human beings, there are certain conditions that you can be forced to admit in those classes. It could be a case of parents that have been transferred from, say, a different region to Boya, and the parents develop a lot of interest in that child. What we do in that particular case is to study the child, talk with the child, talk with the parents, and place the parent and the student under very special admission condition. Special admission condition here means the child has to prove to us consecutively in our evaluation that he's going to make it.
Okay.
We do not register students externally. There's no external center in CUIB. All the students in Form 5 are registered using the center number, that is an internal center number. The same thing with upper seat.
More to add to the VP?
I think, no, not, I think it's okay. Form 5, opposite, we don't admit. But like he said, we study the child's, at times, the report card from the previous school. We discuss with the parents, and at times the parents even take an undertaking. Yeah, so that if the child doesn't perform well, to prove to us that that child is worth registering under the college, then we may only have to let the parents go somewhere else. Because like you said, it's an institution with that is focused on having excellent results. Remember, this is going to be our first batch in the second cycle, and the third batch for the ordinary level. And so we know that all eyes are on the institution, and so we will not leave any stone unturned when it comes to preparing the students for a public examination like that.
So of this point, maybe let me just hit on this. As the vice principal, let's talk about how prepared or how sure are you of the first batch that you have for the second cycle?
You see, at times we don't let the cat out of the bag. But like I mentioned, we are confident. Looking at work coverage and looking at the students that we have and the teachers that we have, we are confident that they are going to make it. They are going to do us proud.
Okay.
Yes, especially this first batch in the second cycle. Yeah.
Mr. Academic Dean, let's talk about invigilation as far as this exam is concerned. How is it done? Teachers invigilate their subjects, or there is a timetable given to these teachers?
This is what is done in CUIB Entrepreneurial High School. For the GC classes, the teachers, the departments are called upon to prepare an invigilation timetable for their subject. The reason why we do so is because the teachers should be able to examine their own subject and see how the children are writing. You know, when you be marking, you should be able to see whether there was tension in the process of writing. Let it not be that another person invigilated and did not see what was going on in the process of writing. So we allow the department to coordinate invigilation. Okay. But for the other classes, from 1, 2, 3, 4, and lower seat, there's an invigilation timetable. And the teachers are cautioned. In fact, there are regular interventions in the staff room by the principal, by the vice, by the academic office to brief teachers on invigilation.
How to carry out invigilation.
No, teaching does not only end at teaching in the classroom. When you teach, you should be able to evaluate. And evaluation begins with supervision. If thorough supervision is not done, then there is already a shake in the foundation of evaluation. It means the evaluation will end up being porous. But if it is properly supervised, you will mark the scripts of the students and give marks to the respective students that they deserve. Yes.
This is exams period. How are these students supposed to prepare? What is expected of them?
This is a day school. We do not have facilities for them to stay back in school and study.
Exactly.
Yes, it is difficult. What we do is that for this week that the students were supposed to begin exam today, there was no talent development. We allowed them on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to stay back at home and do rehearsal, preparing for this exam. But we encourage parents back at home as well as the students when they finish, because this is not an ordinary school day where the students close at 3:15. They stop writing. When the moment they stop writing for that day, we have already informed their parents to come and pick them up. When they go home, we encourage the parents that when they relax for at least 1 hour, let them go back to their book. That's the only thing we can do. We don't have preps in the day. We don't have preps in the night. It's a day school.
Okay. Mr. Vice Principal, let's talk to 4 years as far as CUIB. Examinations within that complex. This is the first batch upper seat. Last year ended at lower seats. The other year was Form 5.
Form 5, yeah.
How has examinations been running?
I think we try as much as possible to, like the Dean mentioned, from Form 1, we try to let them know that cheating in examinations is not allowed. Coming in with prepared material is not allowed. And so, for my stay there, I think we've not had any such major cases. I always take myself back to when I was in Bishop Rogan. In Bishop Rogan, you could go to class, give your examination, and retire to the staff room. And the prefect will bring your papers to you, especially in the second cycle. We brought them up such that they knew that cheating in whatever form was not allowed, or is not allowed. So I think for all this while, and I think as I'm talking, for those who have watched our students, the first, second batch of the ordinary level, when they were writing in lycée, they will confirm, they will attest to what I'm saying here, that the students were well organized. Nothing, no examination malpractice registered for any of our candidates.
Okay.
Yes, they were always there, well composed, 30 minutes even before the start of the exams. We used to just escort them there, and I'm really very happy that our students write in the lycée. We are hardly the invigilators. Yes, such that you could be saying that, oh, your teachers, they invigilated, they know their students, and so on. So we're very happy. We receive them when they are coming back. We send them when they are going back across, and the results prove it for itself.
Just to add to what the VP is saying, the students themselves are alert, particularly the Form 1 and 2 students.
Yes.
Any attempt at cheating in the hall they will come and whisper it to you. They will come and call you and tell you this man was cheating. This man went in with pre-prepared material. It's a process, like VP is saying. I think that we are going to do everything possible that this element of children writing the exams without cheating is instilled and injected in them. It's a culture we're trying to plant there.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Vice Principal, 4 years in CUIB, how satisfied are you?
Oh, I'm very satisfied. You see, when you work in a place, when you offer your service in a place and you see it, you see the fruits, I think you have what we call job fulfillment.
Okay.
Yes, I'm very satisfied being part of the administration and teacher of the CUIB.
I think if by August, July, the bishop is sending you another letter, sending you somewhere else, you should be satisfied going there.
I will, because when your bishop sends you anywhere, you just have to accept.
Okay.
Yes, but if he were to ask my opinion, I'll say, my Lord, I still like to be in CUIB.
Let's come to you, Mr. Ango. Please, let's just know how long have you been there?
This is the 3rd year.
Okay.
I put in about 10 years in SASE, 5 years in CKC. This is my first experience teaching in a day school.
Okay.
Like VP is saying, I'm satisfied. I'm working with a principal who knows how to motivate.
Okay.
Motivation must not be
Financial.
financial. Yeah. He encourages us. He is there every time. If your boss is punctual, if your boss is very assiduous, you have to toe the line. You have a boss that is nonchalant. The end result of that, the teachers will copy that attitude. So Father Pascal is a principal who of the soul.
10 years in SASE, 5 years in CKC, and of course 3 years now working in CUIB. Tell us, how do you see the Catholic education system?
I marked the GCE, and I've been marking the GCE for more than 20 years now.
Okay.
When we discuss in our ranks at the marking center, I am proud as a Catholic teacher. And even my colleagues, they talk positive about our system. They jealous the system, so to speak. It's a system that whether you are going home with a heavy envelope, I mean financially, you're happy with the little you take home.
Yeah.
Even at home, I tell my wife, I'm a happy Catholic teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
The notion is always
Every
that Catholic teachers are not always comfortable.
No, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. My children are going to school. When I'm sick, I take care of them. What else do you want?
Okay.
You see, when you're looking at being comfortable, the first thing is, do you have that job fulfillment? Money should come secondary.
Passion.
Yes, the passion for the work. So that what I've seen, I may not want you to do some comparison between us, the Catholic teachers, or the mission teachers, with our colleagues, our counterparts in the government. But I think 90% of the Catholic teachers are doing very well. I think so.
Vice Principal of CUIB, how are the teachers of CUIB faring?
Good. I think the teachers of CUIB are satisfied.
No, let's be frank here.
Yes,
There is a thing I think, and of course I know.
Yes.
The report comes back to your table.
Good. I think there is no doubt, no institution that you will not have one or two headaches coming from your teachers. But if you were to ask more than 70% of them, more than 75% of them, asked to come to CUIB. And so you see satisfaction in them, but money being what it is, even if you are given $1 million today, you want to have 2 million tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes. So, but generally, I think we are blessed. And like the academic dean said, the principal is a gentleman. He is there for the teachers. He is there for the students. He is not that kind of office administrator. If you meet him, at times you come to school, if he is not there in the office doing one or two things, he's in this class or that other class and so on. Or since this examination, the mock started, and then the preparation for this examination,
Sure.
you made father clipping papers, helping the secretaries and so on, clipping the examinations. So you see, I am bringing him in because I think we are not just exaggerating it here, but I think he is handling his teachers so well.
If the option was to be coming from you, whether he should be transferred or not?
No, I think if you were to ask me about his transfer, I think I will tell you that it is still early.
Okay.
He's a developmental principal, so to say.
And don't you think another school or another institution needs his services?
Let him. I think he should be given some time to stabilize this institution.
Okay.
Yes, because he's doing a lot and he's still in the process of doing so. I think if you were to ask me that, or if even though if the bishop decides, no one can say no.
No.
Yes, but I think we have a bishop too who is sane and who thinks that institution should be stable, and of course Father Siben is the person to bring stability in that.
After this year 4 years, how did you, what are the things that you can tell the bishop, my lord, please let's handle this as far as CUIB is concerned?
I think so far the bishop has done a lot. We have one of the best computer labs. We have the science lab that is we have just we are rounded off with. And if I were to ask the bishop to do us a thing, we have Rifi in school. We shouldn't forget to. If I were to ask the bishop to do something in CUIB, it would be for him to help us with the school bus, at least 2 school buses.
Okay.
Let me seize the opportunity to tell you that we have the highest population in the diocese when it comes to our secondary schools.
Almost 1,000.
We are 1,000 plus. To be very precise, 1,029 students.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we will be asking the bishop to help us with the school bus. We'll be asking the bishop to increase the accommodation of that of the institution, because the way we are seeing it, next year the number is going to
triple.
Yes, it's going to triple.
Just imagine you as a proprietor.
Good.
What will you be doing when it comes to the structure of that place, considering the land situation?
Okay, good. Good thing there is the financial house Repafin that is on campus, and seemingly the bishop has started a very good structure for them.
Yeah.
And so if they were to leave tomorrow, I think we're going to use the structure they are using now, and to be given that this space, like you mentioned, is not enough for us. I would have even suggested that we raise that structure to a story building.
And raising the structure now will come to my point of inclusive education.
Inclusive education?
Yeah. You know, this is a point that most of our academic institutions are failing to avoid now.
Yes.
Inclusive education.
Yeah.
Looking at those who are disabled.
Yeah.
How will they find themselves up? We are talking about, if we are looking at visually impaired, they can be directed.
Yes.
But those working on wheelchairs.
I think so far that's a point, and we are thinking about it.
Okay.
And so far, like I mentioned, my principal, Reverend Father Pascal, is working on something, a program. We are trying to see how we can accommodate some of these disabled the children. Yes, we have a good number.
Learning disabilities different from
Yes.
those who are handicapped impaired.
Yes.
We have some who have some learning disabilities who are in school now.
Yes.
We are managing them.
We're managing it.
But we do not have the
experts. Yes.
who can actually handle them.
Okay.
But we are journeying with them.
Okay.
Yes.
What you are asking is those who are impaired
Impaired?
Yes.
visually and otherwise.
Yes.
That is what we don't yet have.
Yes.
Okay.
But we have about 5 or 6 students
about
who have
6.
some learning deficiencies,
Yeah.
which we are handling.
Okay.
Yes.
3 years in CUIB. Let's look at improving the academic programs. What is that touch that can be added into this talent development curriculum?
I want to say that it's not good to over.
Rate.
It's not advisable for us to just be picking and adding.
Okay.
What we have now, let's manage it to the level of satisfaction before we can start thinking of adding.
Okay.
That is my suggestion.
Okay.
We are for grammar education to prepare the children for GCE, grammar, and the talent development is there to kind of prick the students on their different abilities so that they can do one or two things. For me, let's allow it for now until we are actually mature enough before we start thinking of bringing another aspect. What I will rather advise our head office,
The secretariat?
the secretariat, is to give us the teachers that are devoted, is to give us the teachers that are qualified, is to give us the right teachers.
Okay.
I'm saying so because from some follow-up, because we have follow-up as part and parcel of the teaching learning process in CUIB, not only for the student but for the teachers.
Teachers as well.
We are praying and appealing with our boss, the education secretary, who is doing a lot for our colleges to give us the right teachers.
Let me just say that these teachers are being selected through a very rigorous means. Every August, July, there is always a selection for teachers in which they still bring most of the experts from our different schools who do conduct interviews for these prospect teachers before being sent to various schools.
I think my word expert here, if I may withdraw it and say teachers who are devoted.
Okay.
Because somebody graduating from the university
With good qualification.
with even average qualification and he has love for the job,
Okay.
would do better than
Somebody-
somebody who has served the system for long and is even a burden.
Okay.
What I mean by the right teachers is that if you are giving us a teacher for English language, let that teacher has a degree in English language, because there are certain requirements of an English teacher that cannot be properly handled by somebody who does not have a degree in English language.
Mr. VP wanted to add something?
Yes, I was just going to add to the talent development stuff that you asked my the dean. Yes, if we were to add, from the way things are going, I'm already foreseeing this entrepreneurial aspect in CUIB giving birth to a technical institution, college, yes, or a technical section.
Okay.
So I think the bishop should be working towards that.
Okay.
And because if you look at what we are trying to put in place when it comes to talent development, you will agree with me that we deserve a technical section in the CUIB.
The university should already be boasting of giving birth to a technical college. Okay, we are rounding up as far as the program is today is concerned. Let's talk finally about the exams within this period, ending on Friday, if I'm sure.
Yeah.
What is it for the students? What is the word you are giving to the students?
I think they should not relent. A good number of them today, when I spoke to them this after the first two papers, they were so excited, and they should not take that, and they should not take their excitement and to jeopardize the other subjects that are still ahead of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so let them keep it up, let them prepare as though each day was the beginning of the exams.
Mr. Academic Dean, you guarantee the happiness and satisfaction of the parents. What is the word you'll be giving to the parents and to the teachers for this examination period?
Our teachers know what we expect from them.
Okay.
And we have told them that mark those scripts as though you are marking the scripts of your children. So that the child who is supposed to pass should pass. And the child who is supposed to fail should fail. And we are also giving the same message to parents that when at the end of the term the children are going home with the report cards, let the parent know that that is what the students have in stock for them.
Okay.
If it's success, they should embrace it and keep encouraging the children. If it's failure, let them accept it and keep encouraging the children.
Thank you, our dear audience, for being here with us. We were here because you were there. Mr. Vice Principal, thank you very much for coming. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Academic Dean, thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
We have gradually come to the end of today's edition of Inside Our School, dear audience out there. It is again until next week when we have another special package again for us that will be on this panel to discuss things happening in our schools. From my part, I was Hilarion Clinton. It is a bye-bye.